Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Macon-Bibb County Pre-Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, November the 4th, 2025, and the time is approximately 4:30. I'd like to welcome you, everyone, here today to our meeting. We have our regularly scheduled meeting at 6 o'clock, and a lot of these items will also be on that meeting for a final vote as well. This is our official call to order, and our first order of business today is the approval of the minutes. That approval of the minutes was from our October the 21st, 2025 pre-commission meeting. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Commissioner Stewart. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Wynn. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. We have several alcohol licenses today to discuss. Some of those are in favor of approval from legal, and others have some issues with them that have to be addressed. So the first item is item 3A. This is Sunny Gas Venture located at 4331 Pinona Avenue. After review, legal recommends denial for violation of certificate of good standing requirements. The property owner at this time has outstanding taxes owed, therefore wouldn't typically be eligible for a license approval. So at this time, we entertain a motion to follow the recommendation of denial. Motion by Commissioner Howell, second by Mayor Pro Tem Clark. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion will take the appropriate legal steps. Item B is Jack Food Mart located at 3565 Pinona Avenue, Macon, Georgia 31206. Likewise, after review, legal recommends denial for failure to provide evidence of newspaper publication, having outstanding taxes owed at the time of application in violation of our good standing requirement, and self-identifying as a food mart but operating as a vice mart according to code enforcement inspections. So that is the legal recommendation. At this time, we'd ask for a recommendation to approve the denial. Got a motion by Commissioner Bryant, second by Commissioner Wynn. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion would also take the appropriate steps to legal. Item C is Tipco Food Mart located at 6011 Bethel Church Road in Lizella 31052. You can see a picture of that now. It's a new business there, what used to be French's, right by Commissioner Wilder's house. So at this time, we'd entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Commissioner Wilder. We have a second. Second by Commissioner Bailey. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Item D is Welcome located at 6440 Houston Road, Macon, Georgia 31216. Legal does recommend approval of that. You can see a picture there of a store that's been there for a while. They do all meet all the legal and statutory requirements, and I believe that's over there in Commissioner Howell's district. So this time we entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Commissioner Howell. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Wilder. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously and will be sent to consent agenda. Item E is a Triangle Food and Gas Mart located at 2112 Millerfield Road, Macon, Georgia 31217. You can see the triangle there. Legal does recommend approval. They met all the legal and statutory requirements to be a gas mart, and therefore qualifies, and they've had a certificate of good standing. At this time, I'll make a motion to recommend to approval. Do we have a second? So moved by Commissioner Bailey. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. 63. Item F is El Torito de Chapala, located at 4053 Pinona Avenue, Macon, Georgia. That is a restaurant there that serves alcoholic beverages. Meet all the legal and statutory requirements, including the certificate of good standing. So at this time, we entertain a motion to approve. We got a motion by Commissioner Howell. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Wilder. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries 8-1. We sent a consent agenda. Item G is a Marathon located at 4505 Broadway, Macon, Georgia. Legal does recommend approval. There are no legal basis to deny this one either. However, this is one located way on down Broadway across from Armstrong, if you're familiar with the area by Guy Payne there. So legal does recommend approval, and they do meet all statutory requirements, including the certificate of good standing. So at this time, we entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Bailey. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Howell. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries 7-2 and will be sent to consent agenda. Item 4A is agreements, contracts, and purchase orders. We have, I think, 5 of those today. Beginning with item 4A is a resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the issuance of a purchase order for computers and hardware equipment from Dell Marketing LP, an amount of $104,400 payable from the IT department budget, repairs and maintenance, computer hardware. This time we entertain a motion for approval. A motion by Commissioner Bagel. Do you have a second? Second by Commissioner Wynn, and I believe Commissioner Bryant, did you have a question?
What do they do with the old computers? Like if 2 years ago they got some other computers in, do they try to refurbish them? Do they send them? Do they sell them? What do they do so that we can get money in coming in because they're buying computers? Like, I know everything needs to be updated, but every couple of years.
I think if it's a new computer, if we have use in another department, they may get that. Generally, they're surplus pursuant to law and have to go through our surplus property. Commissioner,
That's right.
Dr. Moffitt, Bronson, do you have something with that, sir? Do you have a follow-up?
That was coughing.
Okay, I heard some squeak over there. I know what it was. So that's the answer. We do surplus those, and they go out for our sale. Sometimes we use bidder one. Sometimes we use other avenues to get rid of that. Okay? So we do recoup some money. I do appreciate the question. We have a motion second. We do have a motion second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. Be sent to consent agenda. Item B is a resolution of Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with One Accord Technologies for the purchase and implementation of upgraded network equipment in amount of $130,384 to be paid from the IT department, security and infrastructure, repairs and maintenance. Likewise, this has been approved. It's in their budget, and we're asking for your consideration on this. At this time, we entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Bailey, second by Commissioner Wynn. Or was that Commissioner Bryant? I'm sorry. Commissioner Bryant. Second by Commissioner Wynn. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. Be sent to consent agenda. Item C is a resolution of Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute a purchase and sale agreement with Midland Radio Corporation in an amount of $122,970 for the purchase of emergency alert radio systems to be paid from the 2025 SPOS Fund, Public Safety. I'll ask Commissioner Hewitt to make that motion. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Bronson. Commissioner Bronson, you have a question?
Yes, I'd like to be added on as a co-sponsor as well.
Okay.
Please, thank you.
We add you as a co-sponsor. We have a motion and second. I know Mr. Hawkins is right there, but if there's no questions for him, unless he just wants to talk, we'll move forward. Well, Mr. Baker may have one for you. Don't go anywhere. She may have a question. Just in time. Ms. Baker, go ahead. I'm sorry. Ms. Bryant, go ahead.
Where are these emergency alert radio systems going in?
These are your portable units that we give away yeah, you got one in his hand right there.
So you're talking about those? Okay.
Yes. Yep, portable units.
I know you've been giving them away like twice already this year, so that's the money that's going to, for you to purchase more so you can give out more?
Yes, in the last 2 years, we've given over 4,600 radios out to our community, and this will purchase 3,000 more radios pre-programmed, along with external alerting devices for our deaf and hard-of-hearing residents.
Yep, I know we gave a lot out over in the District 9
mall.
over there as well.
Okay.
All right, we do have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and be sent to consent agenda. Item D is a resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with BTBB Inc. for the provision of architectural services for the renovation of code enforcement offices at City Hall in an amount of $55,000 paid from sponsored programs, contractual services line items. This is around back where we used to have internal affairs right behind here, between here and the new parking structure. Since code enforcement is going to be expanding, hopefully for additional hours and additional people there, we need room for them to be there and to be able to expand the services. So that is what this is for the architectural services. And since it's professional services that we dealt with this particular company before, it does not have to be bid out. Is that correct? Okay. Mr. Stewart, you have a question?
Well, no, you really kind of answered my question. I was trying to figure out, why code enforcement was a special child. When you look around the building, a lot of areas need to be kind of brought back up. I was in the clerk's office yesterday, and it was cold in there, and she couldn't even turn on 2 heaters because it would blow a fuse. Yeah. But you answered the question as to why, though. Thank you.
This is an old building, and I freeze a lot of times, so I just wear an extra jacket when I come in every day. But that building has been not up to code and been out for a while and haven't been used, so we certainly have to redo some things over there to be able to put people in there. And it's not really accessible from the outside. It's only for employees on the inside because it doesn't have an elevator going directly to it. Commissioner Bryant?
Co-sponsor.
Co-sponsor that? We appreciate that. We do have a motion and a second. Motion is second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Item E is a resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute a professional services agreement with AG Witt LLC for consulting services to update the local hazard mitigation plan in an amount of $39,600 to be paid from the Hazard Mitigation Grant Programs Fund. That's a lot to be said. Any questions regarding this item? Commissioner Bronson?
Hey, Mr. Mayor, just make sure we get a correction here. So the paper we have in front of us shows 39,600.
Is that not what I said?
Yes.
Is that not what I said?
No.
Okay.
What's on the screen?
39,600?
Pull that slide back up. It was the wrong one. Okay. I just want to make sure we're clarifying for the public that's actually seeing the slides on this end.
Okay. You don't think they hear my voice? 39,600, okay. Yes, 39,600. We have a motion. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Commissioner Bailey. Have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Bronson. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda.
Quick question for you, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Mayor.
Go ahead.
On this particular deal, what all will they be looking into, if you mind me asking? Hey, there you go.
If you don't mind stepping up to that microphone, speaking clear, but first identify yourself and your position so the people at home will know who you are.
Hey, good afternoon. Robert McCord, I'm Deputy Director of Emergency Management. This grant, what we're doing is we have a contractor that comes in and updates our 5-year plan for hazard mitigation. So we bring in the public, we bring in all of our partner agencies, all of our local county leadership, and just anybody to be able to get a better understanding of what our hazards are, what our risks are, basically a total look at our community and look and figure out how we can mitigate any of the threats that are posing our community. So,
Sweet deal. Just out of curiosity, on the last transaction that you guys did, or in this one, should I ask, the National Guard, as you know, I was a member of the 40th Brigade here in Macon, Georgia, and then on the reserve side of the house as well. So have we looked at tag teaming with the Reserve Center and the National Guard that we have here to assist in anything that we may have from an emergency standpoint?
anytime we use the National Guard, we'd have to go through the state. So we have to do a request to GMA that goes through a whole bunch of different series of approvals and that kind of thing. So we can't just call the National Guard up and say, hey, can you come and help us? We have to go through a certain process of going through the state to get those resources. But those are definitely resources that we are always looking at if we need them.
Okay. The only reason I ask, right, it's one of those things where even with the reserve side of the house, right, so we're on the federal side, if there's a way for us to talk with those commanders to say, because I've seen it happen, I know the game plan of it, right? If you're having a conversation with a commander, that commander can say, yes, we can house or have you have somebody come in within a 7-day time span to house them there for 7 days without really necessarily having to go through that additional step. So there's means of doing it, and that's why I'm kind of asking, have we ensured that, hey, the National Guard reservists are coming in for these particular conversations?
We're always willing to have those conversations with them. But again, anytime if we call in National Guard for stuff, we have to go through the state to be able to utilize those resources.
All right, cool.
But we do communicate with them during training and exercises, things like Patriot South, those kind of things. We do work with them from time to time if they're, depending on what the exercise parameters are.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Bronson. Going to move on to appropriations and transfers. I think we have at least 2 of those tonight. Item 5A is the ordinance of Macon-Bibb County Commission to authorize an appropriation of up to $50,000 from interest earned on ARPA funds to Home First Housing Resource Services for home ownership counseling and home buyer education services. Mr. Reggie Bell is here tonight. I don't know if you'll come up to the podium there, but as you know, we have the Macon-Bibb County Affordable Housing Fund and many other projects going on to encourage home ownerships in Macon-Bibb County. One of the challenges is making sure that people are in a situation where they can qualify, even at a lower level, for certain fundings, down payment assistance, and any type of matching grants that we can have. And we have a great partner here in Home First Housing, and Mr. Bell does a wonderful job. Their agency, like many agencies, have run into some funding issues, and we need to make sure we fill that gap to keep up the momentum that we have. So I asked him to come tonight just to give you a little synopsis. He's been here several times before, but for those that are new, may not know exactly what they do. They're actually housed over there with our small business as well as our, with Everett Vernon and his crew with the Land Bank Authority over in our building over on Walnut Street as well, and they do a great job. But I'll get him to give you a brief information on what type of work he does, all the things that they provide, the services for our constituents prior to taking a vote. So, Mr. Bell, if you don't mind identifying yourself and who you're with as well.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Mr. Mayor, I'm Reginald Bell with Home First Housing Resource Services, and we are a 501c3 nonprofit housing counseling agency. We are funded in part by HUD, we're funded in part by the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, and of course, we're majorly funded by Macon-Bibb County. And in fact, our agency was started as a part of Macon-Bibb County come February, it will be 24 years ago. And this county had the foresight to see that particularly low and moderate income people needed assistance in going into the market to buy and purchase housing, because at the time, so many people were being taken advantage of by predatory lending. And since that time, we've expanded our services to make sure that we address not only the pre-purchase concerns that clients have in helping them navigate the home buying process, but we also work with families who are in trouble with their mortgages on the foreclosure side. I'm happy to say that we have a 99% success rate in helping families stay in their homes after they become homeowners. Unfortunately, as the mayor alluded to, we have been able to, over the last 24 years, to meet all of our operating needs without ceasing services simply because of the way that we manage. But most recently, given the fact that you know what's going on with the shutdown, HUD has not provided its share of the funding in almost a year. And based on what's happening in Washington, we don't anticipate that funding coming in anytime soon. And so at this point, we are in need of assistance so that we could continue to serve the community. We generally operate off of reserves for anywhere from 7 to 9 months out of the year. And then as the year progresses, those funds that are online in terms of grants and opportunities come in. But this year, we're down to our last 30 days of operating revenue. And as you can see, all the attributes and concerns that a business have, that an organization have, go on in spite of what's happening in terms of politics and local government. So any support that you can provide to help us keep our doors open, to help us continue to serve Macon-Bibb, we'll be grateful for. Just this year alone, just from January to current year, we have served approximately 17 pre-purchase clients, 62 foreclosure clients, and 95 individuals who are on the home buyer education end, for a total of 174 people, and that was through September 30th. And of course, we have the remainder of the year to go. We track these numbers because we want people to know the impact that we have and the number of folks that we see. We make good use of our resources by leveraging, as the mayor says, with other organizations and other groups that give us support as well. So I just thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Commissioner Wynn, you have a question?
Yeah. Hey, Reginald.
Hey.
How you doing? I wanted to know how people find out about your service. Do they go through a particular agency to learn about your service? And I have the second part, but go ahead and answer that.
Actually, people find out about us through word of mouth. They find out about us online. They find out about us directly from HUD. HUD does direct referrals to us. We have lending partners in the community who have clients that come in who may not be able to cross the threshold. They make referrals. And of course, we do a limited amount of radio advertising as well, and social media, which we had to engage during the COVID thing. We learned how to do it very well. And most of our clients come through us from the social media side. It's amazing how, I hate to age myself, but young people rather do that than call us and talk to us in person. So that's how they find out about us.
Okay, so thank you. How far will this $50,000 get you?
It will get us into February of next year. It will give us approximately 90 days worth of operating revenue, and hopefully by then, things will break loose and we'll be able to continue on as before.
So you get a lot of grants and such to help you carry through?
Yes, we work with grants. We have contracts that we do as well. So we have a plethora of funding sources. It's just that those sources are inadvertent and not very timely, and they're in small amounts, anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. Our major work comes from our support from Macon-Bibb, from the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, and from HUD directly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nguyen. Commissioner Bryant?
If I wanted to come to you all, what's the process for me for buying a house? What would you do for me?
Right, the first thing we like to do when people are pre-purchase clients is advise that they take our home buyer education program. That's the first step in the process because it teaches them everything they need to know about how to make this transaction. It basically gives them an overview. Following that, clients come to us through our administrative process. They complete an application, they make an appointment, and they sit down with a counselor and they work one-on-one with a plan that's specifically designed for that person. We have clients who are in various stages of the home buying process. Some people only need the home buyer education certificate. That's the only reason they come to us. Other clients have extremely low credit scores and they need to be held hand or hold their hands for an extended period of time because we've got to deal with income issues, we've got to deal with credit issues and things of that sort. So when clients talk to each other, sometimes they say, well, I was only down there for 90 days. Well, that's because your situation was a 90-day situation. We've had clients that have been engaged with us for as long as 4 years, depending on where they start. But that is how the process begins.
Commissioner Stewart?
Yeah, Mr. Bell, I just want to say thank you for all that you do. I applaud the administration, Mr. Mayor, and the fellow commissioners for doing this because I was with Congressman Sanford Bishop about 2 weeks ago, and you'll hear me say in a few minutes about the food issue, but that's a huge need right now in our nation. And, you know, this will get you through to February, which is good, but that need is dire. It's really dire. And, you know, not without delving any deeper into national politics, which I don't mind saying, you know, it's disheartening what's coming out of Washington, D.C. right now. And so I appreciate where we stand as a commission, where we stand as an administration, and where you stand with your organization. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind comments.
Yes, sir.
Mayor Pro Tem Clark?
Yeah, I was curious, what program has gotten held up from the shutdown that's bottlenecked your funding? I'm sure you said it, I didn't catch it.
The Department of Housing and Urban Development,
Right?
they fund us for one-year blocks, and they generally pay once a year. And those payments usually come in June or July for the previous year.
Okay.
So basically what has happened is because of the shutdown, all of those payments are stopped. And we have been told not to anticipate payment until the shutdown is over, and it may be several weeks to months before they can catch up on the backlog to make those payments. Generally speaking, we're accustomed to using reserves for about 6 to 7 months out of the year. Generally what happens is in July, we usually go into our reserve funds, and we will operate on reserve funds usually until January, at which point Macon-Bibb billing will begin, and then again in October, HUD billing will begin, and then in January, our DCA billing will begin. And when those funding cycles roll through, we're able to catch up on the reserves and maintain our current level of operations. This year, nobody is paying anybody. Mm-hmm. And so we want to keep our doors open, and we want to continue to provide the services post this period.
Has DCA offered any guidelines or given you guys any other criteria to anticipate any funding shortfalls that they would also have? Because I know that they're relatively worried they're incredibly worried that like the rent and payment assistance programs are not going to come through, and that landlords' Section 8 vouchers aren't going to go through. I think that's kind of beginning to happen right now. Is this a snowball effect that will end up at your doorstep, I guess? That's a leading question, but
it absolutely will. Here's what's interesting. There are programs that we work with where people get subsidies that not only help pay their rent, because we do tenancy counseling as well, but when those rent payments are threatened and they can't pay their landlords, then the eviction process starts. And on many occasions, we actually engage with Georgia Legal Services to help prevent that, if at all possible. If we can determine that the client is not at fault for non-payment for some reason that's beyond their control, we advocate for that. And as long as it's not a lease violation. The other issue is there are some families who are on Section 8 to home ownership. Those payments, those Section 8 payments, are counted as well. So that we have to engage with the mortgage company to say, hey, good family, they're doing what they're supposed to do, but we just have to make sure that we keep them in the home waiting on those payments to come up. That falls on our foreclosure side. So there is a snowball effect. In fact, they told us not to anticipate any payments until this whole situation has been worked out.
Have they given y'all any indication that they intend to also pay the back pay that they owe you, or are they just going to turn the lights on when the shutdown starts back over and not worry about, what I guess at this moment could be 40 days worth of
Right.
back due? You probably have no, and I don't mean to answer that question for you, but do you have any indication yet?
They have indicated that they will pay us for the work that has been contractually
great.
obligated. That they have to do. The new contracts will not be issued generally until January. So we're in a situation where we don't know what their budgets are going to be. We don't know what our future allocations are going to be. But we know that once we're reimbursed for what we are owed, we're still able to operate because we simply replenish our reserves and we move forward. But at this point, nobody knows. I mean, they were very honest with us in saying, we know we owe you and we do anticipate paying you. We just don't know when.
Well, thank you very much. I think it's absurd that you have to come here and ask for this when those folks are sent up there to follow through on their obligations. So, but I'm glad you're here and I'm glad we're able to do it. Thank you.
I'm glad that you all are kind enough to consider the importance of the work that we do. Like I said, this is the first time in 24 years that we have not been able to operate without asking for additional funding, and I appreciate the mayor advocating for us.
Yeah, just a short question. Kind of piggyback on Commissioner Bryant's question of how you go through the process, but do you have a waiting list of people that are trying to get into homes, and do you have to turn people down?
Yes, we always have a waiting list, and the waiting list is not determined by us, but it's determined by the client. The client who screams and yells the most gets the most assistance because we tend to work with people who are highly motivated first. There are other individuals who are on the waiting list because they're queued up, because they have other issues they need to address. They've got to address the credit concerns. They've got to address the ratios. And of course, we track them to make sure they stay on track. But the folks who are near to ready are the ones who get most of the attention because they're at that point where they're ready to make the transaction. So for instance, we had 95 people come through homebuyer education this year. Out of that group, probably about 10% are ready to go. Everybody else is still in the queue and will be there until they hit those benchmarks where a lender will sit down and say, hey, we will make you a loan, or hey, you do qualify for a particular product.
Well, thank you for answering all our questions today, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you, thank you.
Mr. Stewart?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, and when that snowball effect comes into place, people don't realize everything is connected, And so you're then going to be looking at, and we'll have to deal with the unhoused issue more. We have to deal with crime issue more, all because somebody at this level decided to make a decision. So everything, all politics is local anyway. So, but everything is definitely connected. Thank you, sir.
I concur. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this time, I make a motion to approve. Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Hewlett. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. Anybody who wants to co-sign that, please let Ms. Ross know. I imagine everybody probably would, or most everybody. Let's go ahead and move on to item B, which is an ordinance of Macon-Bibb County Commission to authorize appropriation of $40,000 from the 2018 SPLOST Fund roads, other Omuggy Heritage Trail line item to provide funding to Newtown Macon, Inc. for the completion of the trail connector, something we've been waiting on for quite a while. Commissioner Hewlett, let you make that motion. And can I get a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. This is to complete part of that process next to the new boat ramp, which includes getting all the new tables and picnic tables and things like that to get everything prepared to move on to the next level. So we have a motion and a second. If there's no further questions, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and be sent to consent agenda. Item 6A is a resolution of Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the acceptance of a 2025 fiscal year 25 Law Enforcement Mental Health and Wellness Act Implementation Project Grant, that's a lot to say, from the Department of Justice, Office of Community Oriented Policing Services, or COPS, in an amount of $97,024 with no local match required, awarded to the Bibb County Sheriff's Office to create a program to address mental health and wellness. Let's be clear on this. This is for the employees, so this is for the deputies. This is not for inmates, just so you know that. So the sheriff and them took that initiative. We approved allowing the grant to happen, and we're willing to accept those funds on their behalf for this purpose. All the items that I'm aware of is contained in the documents that you have included in your package today. I'll be happy to answer any questions, but I spoke to the sheriff earlier. We wanted to make sure we were on the same page as far as this particular information, so we didn't want people to think this was inmate related, because this is deputy related. Mr. Bryant, did you have a follow-up? Would you like to make a motion or something?
I was gonna say so moved, but I want to be a co-sponsor.
Set.
I was waiting on you to,
Okay.
I was gonna say so moved, and
Okay,
then I
we
was
got
gonna be a
you.
co-sponsor.
I saw you light on, so you got me. We got a motion by Commissioner Bryant. Thank you very much. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Bronson. You had your light on for that same purpose, or you have a follow-up, sir? Okay. We got a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. Carries unanimously. I'm glad to have this. A lot of times we sometimes, I know we don't forget about, but we overlook the stressors that our deputies go through, and this is something that's certainly needed, so I'm glad we got some funds there with no match required to take care of all the mental health and wellness that they have, particularly those that are operating in the jail capacity. So we'll add that to consent agenda. Item B is a resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing acceptance of a Georgia relief grant from the Georgia Tree Council, okay, in an amount of $14,280 with no local match required to plant shade trees at Dolores Brooks Recreation Center. Can we get a motion to approve? Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Clark, second by Commissioner Stewart. Co-sponsor, yes, sir. Did you have a follow-up question on that as well?
I just wanted to say, I wrote a letter of support to Mike Glisson on this. That was my childhood park, growing up. So I'm glad to see some improvements coming to it as well. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Bell, do you have a question? I'm sorry, I had your light on.
Yes, going back to A, I want it to be added to that initiative there.
Yes, ma'am, we'll do that. Thank you very much. We had a motion second. We've already took that vote, so it passes. Consent agenda. The last item before we go into executive session, and we do have a need to go into executive session, and we have one item coming out of the executive session. So this is a community food distribution services. This is an ordinance of Macon-Bibb County Commission to authorize the appropriation of up to $150,000 for the community food distribution services. Commissioner Hewlett had asked to co-sponsor that, as well as myself, and I'm sure many others. And we just got the document to you today. We do apologize for giving it to you so late, but we were waiting for the weekend to see how fluid the situation was and what changes on the national level. So we were sent everything out. We wanted people to know about it on the agenda, but we could not have all the I's dotted, T's crossed prior to today, because we're still waiting on information up until almost the time that we had our commission meeting. But we want to let you kind of know that. And basically, this is $150,000. You'll have more information about that coming soon. We'll be giving some of that money to the food bank, who desperately needs it here in Macon-Bibb County, and also to approximately 10 local providers, those of which will be determined based on previous grants that we've awarded for food, people that were in good standing with Macon-Bibb County on turning their receipts in and doing what they're supposed to be doing, and also they have relationships with being able to get food out quickly. Our primary goal now is to get good, healthy food out quickly and not to sit around and have to wait a couple of weeks. We are not going to limit this to just food bank as well, because there may not be enough food at the food bank in particular quantities or parts necessary to do that, so they will have authority to go to other places like Sam, Kroger, Walmart, those kind of places. But we'll be keeping very good receipts. Each of these folks have already shown that they are good stewards of the taxpayer dollars, and those folks will be selected based on their prior relationship with Macon-Bibb County as being a vendor, and a vendor in good standing, and someone that can get that food out very quickly. So I'll start with you, Commissioner Bryant.
Co-sponsor.
Co-sponsor, we got you on there. Commissioner Stewart?
Yeah, co-sponsor as well, and also just want to say thank you again to the administration and to fellow commissioners. I was out there yesterday with Kathy McCullum. As a matter of fact, she had just got off the phone with the mayor and Chris at the time, and I thank you all for doing this. The food bank covers 24 counties, and of course, her biggest need right now, I was out there again today, and we'll be out there again tomorrow. But her biggest need right now is the need for money. Because as she states, if she can get the money in, she can kind of dictate as to what needs to be bought, what types of food they're short on, and plus they buy in bulk. So therefore, it's much better to give them, the people who are listening at home, it's much better to give them money right now than to give them food. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Wynn?
Yes, you answered my first question about who's going to get this money. Food bank's one I would think of. I just want the community to know there are a lot of other places out there that are collecting food. I think WMAZ is doing a food truck thing, but just know there's lots of other folks out there that are trying to help too, but it's good that we're doing that too. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We are doing our part. I contacted all the local, I guess, the municipalities around Macon-Bibb County, and no one else is doing what we're doing. There's a couple that offer to do resources. We do that anyway on a matter of daily course. And some of them are having church food drives, and others simply say this is a federal issue, let them handle it. I can see that in everybody, but right now we have despite the shutdown, we have some food insecurity, and I think one good way to inject a little cash in there is to do that, but the other way is to make sure the food gets it where it needs to be. Included in this will be funding of the backpack programs at one of the schools where they do $2,800 per week. Backpack goes on the students to make sure they get good canned goods, foods, and things of that nature. So that'll be happening as well. But Commissioner Bryan, I had you, and I had Commissioner Bell, and then Mayor Pro Tem Clark.
My question is, do we know of any companies or individuals that are not getting paid because they're not getting a paycheck due to the shutdown? I know like in Atlanta, TSA is one of them, I think CDC, but here in Macon locally, do we know of any people that are, or any company?
Well, I'm sure we have military personnel that live in Macon-Bibb County or federal employees that are not getting paid, but certainly we don't maintain a list of those folks as well. Commissioner Bailey?
And thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to say for our listening environment out there to let everyone know that this is a very, very serious undertaking that the mayor has done to give that $150,000 to the food bank, where our national government has said that no, we're not going to upset the balance by doing this, and has shut down our local government here in Macon. Yes, we have received a balance. Yes, we know exactly what our balance is, and it has been established with the reserve that we have left over. We have taken that reserve, and that reserve is going to you, the citizens here and around Macon-Bibb County. This is a commission and a mayor that's going to be standing by you. This is well worth just taking a moment and just breathing, and then also reflecting on what our future is going to be. Those of you that are out there that have been receiving those SNAP balances, we are very, very aware of the hardships that this will impose on families, on children, on adults, on those that are retired, on our veterans, on our disabled. And it is a very serious thing that we do to stop and use the reserve in this manner. Of course, local governments are responsible, very responsible, and highly accountable for everything they do with their monies. These particular monies have been given to the rightful owners of those monies, the people that has given it to us first. And we are very aware of that. So I just want to say thank you to our mayor, and thank you to our commissioners for standing behind the people that we have sworn to serve here in Macon-Bibb County. And we just want to ask that you also continue to stand behind us as we all go through these particular trying times here in Macon-Bibb County.
Thank you, Commissioner Bailey. I appreciate the comments, but this is a team effort. We are indeed a team of mayor and commissioners, so we operate as a unit together. So although I can bring the resolution, I can't do anything without the vote of the commission, so we appreciate everyone joining in to support this. Mayor Pro Tem Clark.
Yeah, I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor, and just wanted to offer a little bit of context about why. I mean, it's not just simply the shutdown. The President of the United States has a $4.6 billion contingency fund to cover what we're covering today. A court ordered him as of yesterday to spend that money, and he told them no. What that means for the state of Georgia is that 13% of our neighbors will not have full SNAP payments. That's 1.4 million people. 640,000 of those people are children. The Georgia Budget Policy Institute estimates that 23% of our own county is on SNAP benefits. That's 36 to 40,000 Macon-Bibb County residents. So this allocation today is about $26 per SNAP recipient in Bibb County, all while there's $4.6 billion sitting in a bank account that the president won't spend.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Clark. I'll make a motion to approve and a second by Commissioner Hewlett. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. We do have a need to go into executive session for the purposes of consultation with county attorneys or other legal counsel to discuss pending or potential litigation, settlement of claims, administrative proceedings, and other judicial actions brought by or on behalf of the Macon-Bibb County government. All those in favor of the motion, please go in. Say aye. That's all those. I got a motion? I got a second? Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. We're now in executive session. I get a motion to come out of executive session? Got a motion, got a second? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. We are now in executive session. I'm going to go on to item 9A, which is the alcohol beverage license, 478 Lounge located at 1701 Shirling Circle, Macon, Georgia 31211. This particular instance, legal recommends denial pursuant to Macon-Bibb County Code of Ordinances 4-27A8. After reviewing factors weighing in favor of denial based on the public interest in accordance with Macon-Bibb County Code Section 4-36, 1, 2, and 3. And I'll have our attorneys answer any questions if there are any, or lay out any foundation that we need to lay out in an open proceeding.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'm Sarah Davis with the Macon-Bibb County Attorney's Office. At this point, I'm just asking you to deny based on the sequence of events that I have provided you in the written record. Based on the owner and operator of 478 is Lenita Hunt, and it's her history of ownership at Rodeo 24K Bar and Grill LLC. And that's all I need.
Motion by Commissioner Howell. We have a second. Second by Commissioner Stewart. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries, and we'll instruct the lawyers to go ahead and take the necessary action. We do have an item to add to the agenda. This is a resolution of Macon-Bibb County Commission denying a request for refund on ad valorem taxes to Joseph and Susan Brantley pursuant to OCGA 40-5-380 and other lawful purposes. This is the motion to add it. Can I get a second? Got a motion and a second. All those in favor of adding it, please say aye. Opposed, nay. It's added to the agenda, and which that is item 10. So now I'll call for a vote. I need a motion to deny the resolution of Macon-Bibb County denying a request for a refund on ad valorem taxes to the same address that we just mentioned. I got a motion to uphold the denial. Commissioner Bailey, followed by Mayor Pro Tem Clark. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda for later ratification. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our pre-commission hearing. We'll be here approximately another 20 minutes for the start of our commission meeting. Thank you. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Macon-Bibb County Board of Commissioners regular meeting. Tonight is Tuesday, November the 4th, and the time is shortly after 6 o'clock. First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone here today and remind you that you still have time to go out and vote. I know there's a very low turnout tonight, but we have several important items out for vote, including the Public Service Commission. If any of you have lights on at your house, perhaps that may be a concern of you. And also, there's a very important one-penny sales tax renewal for the school system. So you have time to get out there to cast your ballot or just live with the consequences. So we're going to begin our meeting like we always do every night, and that's calling it to order, which I'm doing now, followed by a prayer. Tonight it's going to be led by Miss Celeste Queen with the Hope of Heart of Georgia. Ms. Queen, thank you for being here tonight. It's good to see you again. And that will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So those of you that can and will, please stand up and bow your head in observation of the prayer.
First of all, I want to thank each of you for your service. I know that sometimes you have to face the vitriol of people, and then, but we commend you for your service, and I thank you, and we have the privilege of praying for y'all throughout the year. So thank you again. Let's pray. Our Father, we thank you for the blessing of meeting in a place of peace in this beautiful building that you've provided. And Lord, as these men and women who represent the thousands of other men and women and children in this place that we call home, you said that if any need wisdom, lacked wisdom, to ask of you, and you would give it graciously. And so we ask for this meeting tonight, and for these who have committed themselves to leadership in this place, that you would give a new sense of purpose and unity to guide our city and our county to greater things. I ask for Mayor Miller, thank you for his leadership these years, and I pray that you'll continue to bless and use him and guide him. And for our commissioners, for Valerie Wynn, for Paul Bronson, for Stanley Stewart and Joey Hewlett, for Seth Clark, also our Mayor Pro Tem, for Raymond Wilder and Bill Howell and Donis Bryant and Brendolyn Bailey. Father, thank you so much for each of these, that they would all have hearts of servant leaders, knowing that you have appointed them to lead Macon and Bibb County in this time. Would you grant them the wisdom that comes only from you? Give them strength and clarity of thought and unity for the tasks and issues that come before them, and that there can be joy in that service and peace that passes understanding as they look to you. We think of their families and the sacrifices that come along with the privileges of leading and serving, and that you would help them in times of stress and in times of joy. We ask your blessing and guidance in this meeting and in the matters that will arise in future days, all for the honor and glory of your name, giving praise to our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. We have no comments on public comments on agenda items tonight. We do have several non-agenda items we'll get to in just a moment. But we'll begin with the approval of the minutes. This is item 6A, the approval of minutes for October the 21st, 2025 commission meeting. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Clark, second by Commissioner Bryant. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. The next thing is the consent agenda, which is items A through P. Items A through P, let's accept any items that must go through legal regarding alcohol licenses. So at this time, we entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda that was voted on in our pre-commission meeting. Motion by Commissioner Wilder, second by Commissioner Stewart. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. Mayor Pro Tem Clark?
Yeah, there was a, give me a second. I'd like to be added to, from the, it is, I can get there quick. Item L in, item L on the consent agenda, the Heritage Trail funding, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We'll do that. Thank you very much. We do have several comments on non-agenda items. We'll start with two comments regarding looks like transportation. Our first one would be Ms. Jackie Gilmer. Ms. Gilmer, if you don't mind coming up to the front. Speaking that microphone there, and you know you got 5 minutes to speak. Good to see you again. Appreciate you being with us tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, and of course, yes, I want to talk about transportation.